Hi everybody, I'm Marie, and today I'm going to be talking about installing a new Ring doorbell. I own a business in Atlanta, and I think that the advantage of having the Ring doorbell at a business, especially the kind of business that I operate, is going to be beneficial to us because we have a lot of folks that will walk up and we're not here, the business isn't open, and it'll still give us the opportunity to interact with them, obtain their contact information, and then be able to follow up with them. So today I'm talking about the Ring peephole cam and chime. It is wireless, which is really important for my application. We're going to be putting it on a commercial glass double door, and it doesn't really give the opportunity to do the wiring up through the door without a tremendous amount of navigating and retrofitting to come through the metal frame of the door. So we're going with the battery powered one, and we'll just keep up with making sure that the battery is fresh and charged every couple of weeks. I think it's got an even longer battery life than that, but based on the amount of traffic and people coming in and out is how often it will come on and use up that battery life. Just bought this, as well as we picked up the Ring indoor cam, which can also be battery powered or plugged directly into an electrical outlet. We plan to take and put those plugged into an electrical outlet. And we purchased 4 of these and the doorbell. They were all got at Best Buy in Atlanta. We shop at the one on Piedmont Road, and combined with the taxes and everything, it's a $511.78 purchase. For us, we feel like it's going to be a great investment because it's going to give us access to those clients that we may not have had an opportunity to interface with if they didn't call us, or just simply because we weren't here. So I'm going to unbox the doorbell, which I have only seen myself at the store on their little display, but you really can't work with it too much because it's rigid there on that display. And then also on the videos that I have watched on YouTube, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this YouTube video, because I couldn't find a single one of them that pertained to having it at a business or on a commercial door application. And so that was a little disparaging for me, so I figured, heck, I'm gonna do it. I'm a very do-it-yourself kind of girl, and gonna do the installation myself. Hopefully I can get through the technology end of it. That's not my strong suit. Drilling the holes and putting things on the wall is my strong suit. And so I wanted to be able to have and share the content of what my particular application situation was. So it's really nice. It says, say hello to Ring. And then we open that up, take that piece off, and the first thing you're going to see is, in fact, the doorbell that'll be on the outside of the door, and then the piece that will be connected on the inside of the door. So I'm just going to take that out, and as you can see, this is nice and slim, which was another really important thing for me when I was looking at all the doorbell options. Many of them are much chunkier in width, and on a commercial door application, which I will show you later when we get to the installation part of this, you only have just that thin rail, and this particular unit is almost exactly the width, so it's going to work perfectly if all the other needs align and work perfectly as well. This is the stem that goes through the door and then into the component piece on the inside of the door that connects them all together. Okay, and then underneath that you can see it says peephole key and peephole kit. So we're going to take this off. Underneath there, you've got your battery, your Ring battery. And not that I know a whole lot about this system, but having watched all of the other videos, one person said that this battery can last up to 6 months without charging it. I don't know how true that is yet because I haven't used it. I'll come back with some follow-up videos later on and look at the actual time that it gave me. In addition to that, you've got, I guess that's the metal actual peephole part that's going to go inserted into this somewhere. And then, what do we have here? I'm going to assume that this is yet another piece to the peephole without having read the instructions yet. This got threads on the female threads on the inside of that, and these are male threads here on the stem, and I'm sure that that's ultimately going to screw into there and become the part of the peephole. So we'll put those on this side over here, keeping it all neat and organized. And then on this side, you've got your USB for charging the battery later. You can see that you've got the male part there that goes into the female in there, and you put that into any of your USB outlet boxes, plug it in, and there's your recharged battery when the time comes necessary. Okay, not going to need that right now. In fact, I actually do believe we need it because, again, from one of the other videos, the gentleman said that it doesn't come fully charged. So I'm going to go ahead and undo the twist ties, get the charger, and go grab my charging box, which I don't have with me right now. So I'm going to step away to go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have my charging box, which is just any standard USB charging box, and we are going to get that going the right direction. And then we're going to go ahead and get this plugged in right over here in the outlet while we continue to talk about what's actually in the box. All right. The battery is successfully being charged. One of the things that I noticed about YouTube videos, and I go to YouTube videos all the time now because I really do like doing things myself, not necessarily so much because of the cost of installation to hire someone to do it, but also I just like knowing how to do things. So, put the box out of the way. Underneath the little cardboard divider inside had this piece which says plug adapter and chime. Slide the plug adapter into the chime. So this is going to be the chime, and then you've got the plug adapter, which just has little grooves to take and slide this right up into, and which way are we supposed to go here? We're supposed to go this way. So you can see that it threads on one end there, and that will go into it here, and you do have to do it a certain way. It's not a universal, you can slide it on either way. One side has a completely smooth top to it, which is going to line up with the top of the chime. So we're just going to take that and slide that in just like that. So now the chime is ready and can be plugged in to any standard outlet. All right, let's set that aside. So far the pieces that come in the box are the outdoor doorbell on the outside of the door, the piece that will be connected to this on the inside of the door. We had the two people. Okay, so I am going to do a quick recap because it seems that I didn't get something out of the box when I initially unpacked everything. So I've read through the instruction manual so far, and the recap I'm going to do is the items that were in the box so that we fully know everything you're working with. You have the outside piece of the actual doorbell itself. You have the inside piece that connects and holds it all together. You've got the chime, which had the separate plug-in part that you had to slide and pop into it. You've got two pieces for the peephole area. This is just an extender that I've learned. We may not end up utilizing this piece. We may only end up utilizing just this one here. We'll figure that out once we get to drilling a hole in the door. And then the only other pieces that were in the box were the battery and the USB cable to charge the battery. The item that I missed was this peephole key tool. They referred to your package of tools in the box. And so I was looking for like real tools, and there weren't any. But you had this little metal gadget. So on this end, there's going to be a place where we can screw. It slides into this so that you tighten it down, and that's going to tighten the component on the outside of the door to the component on the inside of the door and tighten them together, and it holds it all together. So that's for that key. There was also a part in the instructions that said if you had a regular residential door, like a wooden door, and once you take out your current peephole, you may have some roughness around the door, so they were showing you how to use the curved corner and just kind of groove that out if that's necessary. I don't think I'm going to have to deal with any of that because I'm going to have to drill a hole in my door with my drill. It's my favorite friend. And battery's all nice and strongly charged because we're using a battery operated as opposed to an electrical one where the power is just rock solid the entire time you have it plugged in. You want to make sure you're going to have a really, really freshly charged battery. Now, what I'm going to have to do, and hopefully this is the correct drill bit, I just have this set of drill bits, and I have determined that the hole is going to need to be a 1/2 inch drill bit for that. And you know that because you're dealing with this post that's going to have to be fed through the hole. So the hole needs to be a tiny bit larger than what the diameter of the connector is so that it can smoothly fit through without catching or being jammed in there. So you just kind of size that up to know it's about a 1/2 inch drill bit. So what we'll do is we'll remove my Phillips head drill bit there and put in my 1/2 inch drill bit, which is what we're going to use to go and do the hole on the door. So I'm going to break now and get all of that set up and be able to come back and show you what we're going to do to get the hole in the door and to get the unit actually installed. Okay, so to go over everything that came in the box real quick. Outside doorbell with the connector stem. Inside component to put them together. We have these 2 peephole pieces. Not quite sure that we're going to need both of them. I think I'm only actually going to end up needing this one, which is the one that screws it down and combines them together. Also in the box was the chime, the plug-in portion of the chime, the handy dandy little universal tightening tool, as well as your battery and your USB charger. In addition to that, you had all of the instructions and paperwork and such. So at this point, I'm gonna go. Okay, so here we are. I'm on the outside of the building here. This is the door that I'm telling you about. It's a commercial glass front door. Standard 6 foot, 8 foot door opening. And we are gonna put it on the door that stays shut primarily. Originally I thought I might put it on the other door, and I got to thinking about it. I said, no, open and closing 1,000 times a week. Probably safer to put it on the door that stays primarily stationary. So we've kind of eyed up where this is going to be placed. I want to have it at about this height here. And so we're going to get this drill and come on over here and get our hole drilled in the door. My problem is I'm not quite sure if this is the right drill bit or not. So we could have a successful hole, or we may have to pause and go find a different drill bit. We're gonna see what we've got. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. You can see that it's actually going through the metal. It's going to take us a moment because we've got to get through 2 sides. the front side, and it's just a thin piece actually, and then it's hollow on the inside. Successfully through the front of the door, and I'm actually going to do just a quick little test to make sure we have the perfect drill bit, 1/2 inch, for the stem to go through. Now we've got to break through the back side of it. And you want to keep yourself level as we go through the back side of it, so that you're not going to have a problem with the stem through the center of the door having any sort of unlevelness. Use the level on your drill. Most drill bits most drills have them. It's right here at the top, so I can see that I'm staying in a nice level pattern while cutting through the back side. Trying to check to see where I'm at with that level. Success. Okay, so now we have our hole. I'm just going to check to make sure we're still recording properly. Looks like we are. And so now we move on to the next step, which is getting this onto the door. I'm going to pause the video for a moment because I'm going to go get my instruction book and take a look at exactly what it tells us to do. Instruction book. I'm pretty big about following instructions, especially when I've never done something before. And so we're going to take a look specifically at what it's telling us to do now. Okay, so in the instruction book, it tells you getting started, how to get the peephole out. We're not doing that because we didn't have a peephole to begin with. We just created our hole with the drill. The next page just is more information about getting the old peephole out. It does say to smooth the edges, but we just did that with the drill bit, so I think we're fine with that. And now we've come to the point where we're talking about the actual outside doorbell piece and the inside doorbell piece. So the first thing it says is place the outdoor assembly from the front side of your door. Insert the tube through the hole until your peephole cam is flush with the door. Then it says to head inside, and it says remove the orange cap on the indoor side, and remove and discard the protective orange cap from the end of the tube. We'll continue to set up from the inside of the door. So let's go ahead and get that done. So you remember what I told you about keeping the hole level? I can see that I wasn't as good as I thought it was. So the bottom of the doorbell is actually not sitting flush to the door itself. So I went down a little bit on my drilling. So I'm going to come inside and I'm going to repair that to level it up to be able to have it correct. Okay, so I fixed the level issue by making the hole on the inside of the door a tiny bit higher so that when the stem went in, it was able to come up, which is now allowing the bottom of the ring doorbell to sit very nice and flush against the front of the door frame. Okay, we're now going to move ourselves inside and start working the rest of the install from the inside. So here we are on the inside of the door. And one of the things, going back to my YouTube watching and learning how to do things, I tend to get a little frustrated because some of the YouTubers on their how-to videos will fade in and fade out, and they won't really go over everything nice and slowly so that you can understand it. And they condense the length of the video. I'm going to do the long version here. You can always fast forward if you don't want to listen to going through the instructions. Now that we've got the stem is sticking through the door there, the next step says to remove the orange cap on the inside of the door. Remove and discard the protective orange cap from the end of the tube, which is very easy. You just have to pull it right out. Super simple. It's just a little piece of plastic. We'll toss that to the side, and then we continue with the next step. This is where those peephole sort of nipples come into play. I'm going to go grab them. So if you recall from the earlier part of the video, we have this one, which kind of has a little flange on one side and smooth on the other. This is an extender that I don't think we're going to be using. I think we're going to be solely using just this piece, which is also the screw part of it, that we're going to be using that little key that we had earlier. It's a female threaded on the inside, and that is a male threading over there for that piece that's sticking through there. So it says you might need the included adapter. This is the adapter. It's used to support larger door view holes. I just don't think we need it. Actually, it's kind of nice. It slid right in there. It's making it even a little bit more solid from the inside. So I think we're going to use it. Then it goes on to say, well, it does say if it doesn't slide in easily, don't force it through. You won't need it. If it does slide in easily, insert the adapter until the rim is flush with your door. That's what I just did. Now it says to remove the rear cover of the inside portion of this, which is this piece. So we've removed the cover, and now it's moving us on to the step of getting this onto the stem there. It says place the indoor assembly. Next, carefully slide the indoor assembly onto the tube until it's flush and your door flush with your door, making sure the outdoor assembly isn't pushed out. So let's go ahead and do that. We now have that piece on there. Great. And the next thing says pull out the connector cable. So on that little stem that's coming through the door, there's this little cable, and you can see it very easily, and you're just going to pull that out. So that it's now here. Groovy. Okay. It says we tucked it into the tube for safe travels, but now it's time to take it out. Grasp either end of the exposed gray connector and delicately draw it out of the tube until there's no more slack left. So that is what I've done. I've pulled it out. There's no more slack left. That is what's going to button into that piece, and we'll get to that in just a second. It says join the indoor and the outdoor assembly while holding the cable out of the way. Place the tightening nut, this piece, onto the tube. Do not attempt to thread the cable through the tube. They want you to put the cable under the side of the screw tube. Using either your fingers or the install tool, twist clockwise and tighten firmly to make sure your peephole cam doesn't rotate freely. Once secure, check the outdoor assembly. It may have shifted slightly while tightening, so make sure that it's level. So let's see about doing that. Okay, earlier, I flung that little key around here. I've got it right here. Here is that little tightening tool that they included in the box, and it slides right into there, and it's going to allow me to be able to give it just a tiny bit more. You want it really secure? And I think that's about as secure as it needs to be. So we're going to pause for just a moment for me to check to make sure I've done everything correctly, and I'll be right back. It's looking beautiful so far. Next step, it wants us to take this little cable that we pulled through, and there's two little pieces of plastic. One that's kind of dangling, like on a hinge, and then another piece behind it. On the face of the inside of the doorbell, there's a little port, almost like you would plug in a charging cable. And on the back side of this is the other side that needs to be plugged into that port. So now, that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Let's see to do it. All right, great. It's plugged in. And then it says just to press that lower little dangling piece into the channel, which is exactly what we just did. Perfect. So far, we've plugged the connector in and we've secured the little cable. Now it's telling me it's time to insert the battery. So I'm going to go and get the battery. Be right back. Okay, we have the battery in hand. It says slide the charged battery into the bottom of your peephole cam until it clicks into place. Don't put the cover back on just yet. So here we go. Battery is in. It's starting to look like something. It says complete the setup in your Ring app. So this is where I'm going to pause because I'm going to wait and do this segment once I get home, and because I need to, oh wow, it's talking to me. It just said my Ring device is set up. That's so awesome. Well, I guess I could go ahead and do it. Everyone knows how to download an app and go through the step-by-step procedure to set up connecting your phone to your device. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can manage to do that. That's the part that I was not feeling so confident about, but I think I'm going to do it. So, back in a minute. Okay, so this is a pretty amazing day because I did the technology end of it. So just to try to give you a recap of what I did off screen is connecting the doorbell to my phone through the Ring app. I have an iPhone, so I went to the App Store, I found the Ring doorbell app, I loaded it on the phone, it's free. It wants your name, first and last name, it wants your location address, and it wants your email address. Put all that in, follow through the prompts that it gives you. It gave me a little bit of a time because I was having difficulty connecting to the Bluetooth to the internet. There is a little orange reset button on the side of the inside component. I had to press that several times as I kept getting stuck in the finalizing of the setup. Managed to get through it. My doorbell is now connected to my Bluetooth, connected Bluetooth via the Wi-Fi, and I'm going to put the back housing onto it. Just pops right on. You can close the peephole or you can leave it open. Doesn't matter to us one way or the other because we've got these big glass doors. We can see it when we're here. We don't really need the peephole open. When you are installing the app onto your phone, there's a page in the box that came along with all the other paper that's got this barcode on it. So it's going to want you to also scan that barcode, and that's one of the items in the steps of the prompts that the app will get you to connect the doorbell to your phone successfully. I have done this successfully. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I've already seen the camera and what it looks like through my phone screen, and it's pretty amazing. I was actually kind of concerned that I have a step entrance that comes up, but it's kind of situated a little over off to the left, and I was feeling a little concerned about the camera going straight out from this direction, not capturing it. That is not the case. This is a huge angle that this camera has, and it almost captures literally my entire parking lot and even the other area of the front of the building so far that I'm pretty shocked, but I'm very happy about it. Ultimately, I'm interested in finding out how it's going to look and how it's going to come into me as a message, because I'm here alone tonight. Everyone else has already left, so I don't have anybody that I can test it with yet, but I'll be able to do that tomorrow. And as soon as I'm done testing it, I will come back and I'll do one final piece to my installation of my Ring doorbell for the video for everybody out there that has a commercial door, glass front, no peephole, drilling the hole and installing the Ring doorbell. Essentially, it was super, super simple. Super, super simple, yes. Had the unit, drilled the hole, put it in, tightened it down, hooked it up to the Bluetooth, and we're in business with my new Ring doorbell. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful for you.